The name of Gusmyl Perdom, and he's a big lad, isn't he? And he's taking on a guy called Gringo Mandache. Mandache from Romania, and giving away about 6 inches in height and reach here. He's won 2, lost 5, drawn 1, stopped 1. He's 23, Mandache. You'd be forgiven for thinking he was 33. And Perdomo from Tomeno in Venezuela, as I say, undefeated in 5 starts, 4 wins inside the limit. He's only 26. Big, tall, rangy southpaw.
Stop, stop. Okay. Box.
Well, I've got to ask the question, how long will this one last? For the record, Mandache has been stopped on 1 occasion in those 5 defeats, so it looks like he might have the chance of going a few rounds here. And that is the punch really that's going to do it, like it did in round 1, the uppercut. Always a cracking punch against a shorter fighter. But as I say on the record, I suspect there's a fair bit of durability about Mandache. But let's just see if he proves that. The Venezuelan at the moment making hard work slightly of this. Oh, nice jab there from him though. And the long left cross there. But as I say, it's the uppercut from a taller fighter against a shorter one that really does make a difference. Or didn't anyone tell him that? Well, this round is continuing the way the first went. Oh, a lovely uppercut there. Well, Perdomo not looking bad when he does the right thing. And he's done the right thing in that round, so he's won the first couple. Well, he's beginning to feel the pace already, as he's only had 2 rounds of this. He's got another, potentially 4 to go.
Ai pornit seria, dă-i drumul mai departe, mergi cu stânga, dreapta și te oprești. Nu, dă-i drumul la serie mai departe, înțelegi? Nu te oprești acum. Tocmai când ești aproape de el, atunci te oprești.
Siente bien, ¿quiere más agua en la cabeza? Jerry. Respira, respira, respira.
So there he is, tall, angular, gangly, from Venezuela. Don't get too many fighters out of Venezuela, do you, these days? Or did we ever? Don't really remember. There, of course, have been fighters out of Venezuela, of course they have. Here we are then, this is round 3. And just let me remind you, we're looking at a man by the name of Gusmyl Perdom, who's undefeated in 5 from Venezuela in the red against Gringo Mandache. Great name that, Gringo Mandache. And he comes from Romania. Only 23, Gringo, by the way, but as I say, he does look a bit older than that. And once again, nice body shots here. And I think that the only question to ask now is how much of this does Gringo Mandache want to accept? He's under pressure, there's no doubt about that. Will he see it out, or will he crumble? And once again, he's getting caught at every turn here. Well, there's no arguing here about this performance from Perdomo. Not bad. And as I say, he's a big lad. I don't know how tall he is, incidentally. Well, he's a tough guy, isn't he, Gringo Mandache? You know, as I say, he doesn't have to stand there and take all this fistic abuse. 2 wins under his belt, 5 defeats, 1 draw. He's not a puncher either. He's scored 1 win inside the limit. So it's not as if he's got a chance really of taking Perdomo out here with 1 big shot, because that's not the kind of fighter he is. But let's not speak too soon, eh? I think, if he's taking it now, he'll probably take it for the next few rounds and go the full route. Yep, big round there again. Well, the Venezuelan having a sweet trip here to Germany. Made his debut in the Dominican Republic, by the way, had 3 fights there. He's only boxed once in his native Venezuela, but actually had his last fight here in Germany. And fun enough, he's actually 10 pounds lighter than he was in his debut. Super middleweights, by the way, these two, in case you're wondering. Of course you were. I should have said it earlier. In case I didn't, I apologise.
Vamos a salir de abajo. Él no quiere, se está agarrando. ¿Ah?
Here we go then. This is round 4, and it's all going Perdomo's way at the moment. Well, they obviously like the look of him, I suspect, when he boxed here before, which is why he's got the invite back again. And he's probably cheap enough to do business with. And this is a nice round here again. Good start here. And, well, Gusmyl Perdomo doing nothing wrong. Well, for someone at his stage of his career anyway, he's doing not a lot wrong. Well, could we be looking at an upset here? I think the only way we're going to get an upset here is if poor old Perdomo hurts his hands. But he's still a tough guy, isn't he? He's still a tough guy, this Gringo Mandache, taking everything pretty manfully. And it makes the kind of guy that makes you question your punching power. Don't forget that Perdomo's actually won 4 of his 5 inside the limit. Last time he boxed in Germany, won on points over 4, and this time he's doing a 6-rounder. Well, he must be getting pretty worn out by now. The attention's virtually been all one-way traffic. But his game, Mandache, is game. Lovely uppercut there again. Oh, nice right there. Well, Mandache did get through the punch. And how does a Romanian get a name like Gringo? That's fascinating. Unless it's a nickname, which I doubt. Well, I'm still trying to tee off with the uppercut, but that's another good round there. And don't expect poor old Mandache to get much out of this. 4 out of 4. So a bit of slow motion replay here, and that's a great punch. I mean, what's keeping Mandache upright, I ask myself. Well, good old-fashioned fighting spirit is the answer.
Ahí, tú te dejas todo ese campo libre porque está pendiente del play.
Hai și respir. Așa, sufla aerul afară, da aerul afară, așa. Da aerul afară.
Yep, round 5 then. This is the penultimate round. Will it go the full route? I think it... I wouldn't like to say at this point. As I say, I think it depends on the state of mind, really, of Gringo Mandache in the black and white. Does he want to go the full route? I think he does. Otherwise, he'd have probably folded long before now. And don't forget, you know, pride's a big factor with fighters. Okay, so you lose, but you still don't want to be stopped. And again, lovely bit of work here. And, well, looking good. Gusmyl Perdom, but left himself open there, throwing a right hook to the body. Early days yet, of course, in his career. Only fight number 6, of course, for him. Fight number 9 for the Romanian. Well, is he struggling slightly now, do you think, the big fella? Not struggling to win the fight by any means, but just to look as convincing as he was earlier. Probably not. What was that? Yeah, ran the back. Thought so. Does happen when you're long-armed, rangy. Well, good. Oh, nice little right there. And that caught him in his tracks. And it's nice to see, he's a full head shorter, isn't he? Gringo Mandache. It's nice to see different faces and different names on the circuit. Last half minute then of round 5. One more round after this. Nice right landed there. Well, by his standards anyway, for Gringo. And he's a tough guy. I bet a lot of you sitting at home thinking, God, this won't last long. How often are we wrong about that? Yep, another round there. But, you know, once again, hats off to a gallant effort here from Gringo Mandache.
Dă-i drumul, tată, mă, dă-i drumul la brațe, mă, nu vrei să boxezi.
Bit of replay then. And there's Mandache trying to get lucky with the old right cross. One round to go then. It is indeed the sixth and final round, as the MC says. Here we go. In case you've forgotten, we've got the Venezuelan from Tomeno in Venezuela, Gusmyl Perdom, looking for his sixth straight win in action here against Gringo Mandache from Romania, who has lost so far 5, 1-2, drawn 1, stopped 1, 23 years of age. And Perdom was 26, incidentally. Very tall, rangy super middleweight against a little tubby one. Well, it's not tall for a super middle. And of course, as far as the professional career of Mandache goes, you know, he's always going to be up against it, isn't he? You know, you can't be this big and this weight. Not if you want success. He's won a couple, of course he has, but you know, you've got to be careful. In fact, he won his first 2 fights in in Hungary, of all places. He has boxed in Italy, Poland. Nice long, oh, lovely left hook that time, come uppercut there. And Perdom, well, not looking too bad. Awkward right that from Perdom. They're the kind of punches that hurt your hands. So just over a minute to go then, sixth and final round. Well, it's obviously that Perdom is going to head for his second win here in Germany. It's a long way to go, of course, Germany to Venezuela, and vice versa, unless he's staying here. Last time he boxed in Germany, by the way, was the 30th of March. So I don't think he's been here for 2 months, unless, of course, he's been sparring. And that's a possibility. He could have been employed as a sparring partner. Last few seconds. Yep, it's all over now. And a game effort, undoubtedly, from Gringo Mandache, but only one winner. So a bit of slow motion replay then from the last round, left cross there, thumping home. Well, either Mandache is a tough guy, or Perdom is not a hitter. Hard to know. Arriva. defeat then on the record of Gringo Mandache coming up. 6th win, of course, for Perdomo. And he's forgotten what it's like to win now, I should imagine. Mandache, he got a draw 2 fights ago, but he wants to get back on the winning trail, but he won against guys like this. Well, we're just about to have the final verdict of the evening.
Ist wiederum ein einstimmiges Urteil, it's a unanimous decision. Alle 3 Punktrichter haben 60-54, all 3 judges 60-54.
Yep, 6-0.
Winner by points und damit einstimmiger Punktsieger Gusmyl Perdomo.
So there you are, Gusmyl Perdom declared the winner 6 rounds to 0. And bad luck there to Mandache, but you'll be winning again one day.